First off, before we get into this footage, let me just point out two things. Most of what you see is going to be my GoPro stuffed in my vest here and filming whatever it fancied filming from whatever angle, and I've just tried to piece together the best I can from that footage it took, because I wasn't going to walk around with my camera like this while I'm going across Crib Goch and Tryfan. Also, I want to thank Raw Adventures because it was a wonderful recce. We learned so much, and they have allowed us to include the footage of them giving all sorts of tips and advice about the route in this video. So if you find that helpful, that's because they just want to improve mountain safety, so they're happy for it all to go in there. And also, if you are thinking about Dragon's Back, especially, and you haven't got mountain knowledge to the level that is expertise, then do get yourself booked on a Raw Adventures recce, because you will learn so much about route, technical, nature and everything else. Anyway, enough said. Let's dive into the footage and see how it all went. Hi, welcome to Friday again. So I'm at Youth Hostel in Conway, which is the one we stayed in when we volunteered in September. Very similar room actually, but that was 4 people I'm sharing with. I've got it to myself. I had a crazy idea that I was going to drive up in the night and pull over in a couple of service stations, have about 2 hours kip at each service station, maybe 4 hours sleep, and then do this recce with Raw Adventures. I mean, it's stupid, all to save £65, which I'll never remember I spent in about 3 years' time. So yeah, I'm going to get a proper night's sleep. I'm here at 7 o'clock, 5-hour drive, proper night's sleep, meet them in Llanberis, which is about a 30-minute drive away in the morning. So I can actually be a normal person, go to bed 9:30, get up at 6, and then I'll be energetic for the Raw Adventures recce weekend, which I'm very much looking forward to. See what happens, shall we? Okay, it's Saturday, just arrived at the park and ride. Look at the weather. They look menacing, those mountains. Eh? Anyway, it's very windy as well. I don't know what they're going to do with the recce. Don't know whether tomorrow, so just a bit of peaks tomorrow and a bit of other bits today. We'll find out in a minute. So, just setting off for our first recce day. I think that's the one we're going up. Tryfan, maybe. Anyway, the hill's behaving itself this morning, which is really good news. So that over there, these faces of Tryfan. Alright, let's give you a base shot. Tryfan. Down here feels quite no wind, quite warm. Up there, could be a different story. Right, going up Tryfan. Halfway up, so beautiful there. Quite a climb though, very steep.
I'd say don't trust the person in front of you.
On a race, yeah. It was on any scramble or any.
Oh, good to look back sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got
over here.
Yeah.
So if you're not boiling, shoving a layer on because you're going to be in the wind a bit. And today, going down the South Ridge, won't be super quick because it'll be quite slippy.
Right, so is everyone still warm, or is anyone cooling down rapidly?
getting too warm.
Getting too warm, good.
So if you look at your...
So we're saying don't follow the GPX.
Yeah, so if you look, it takes you... We still tell
It's still going to over down a bit.
That's what happened to that guy. He followed his GPS literally, and it actually takes you over the other side. Because where Ian is now, we go across.
Oh.
I found those two ladies from the back of here.
So yeah, So this is top of Tryfan, and that is Adam and Eve.
Are we up top?
We're on top.
Me. Adam and Eve, we have to jump across then, do we?
Yeah, maybe not today.
Yeah.
An hour and 18. Hour 18.
From the car.
Stopping, starting, chatting.
2 hours. Just over an hour.
Probably worst case, hour 18 to get.
About an hour on the day would be
Realistically,
quite acceptable within
I
times.
mean, I think, you know, like just over an hour is good. It's a good time for.
That's if you want to get into camp by
Because
2
if you're-
o'clock, yeah?
What time? It also, I mean, it's not because you're. So if you're there at 2, the cut off. You haven't got really. To be fair, to be honest, you're pushed to get across to because you need to be at penny past for 4:30. So that's a big ask, to be honest. You really, ideally, you'll be down here for at the latest at 1. That'll give you plenty of time to get across and along to penny past, and then over the rest of the course to finish that day.
Two.
I think
It's
it's
two.
You get
Recommended
4
time.
hours. If you leave that at the cut-off, you get 4 hours to get to Kent.
2 o'clock, 4:30.
Yeah, you got 2.5 hours. If you hit cut off there, you got 2.5 hours to get to Penny Pass.
And you won't do that.
Basically, you won't make it.
won't do
This
it.
section is really tight if you're just making cut off.
Like on a good day, if I had 2.5 hours to get from there to there, that'd be like.
And if you think about it, if we let, so you're leaving at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's 7 hours to go over the canyon. That's okay.
Six
And you'll get there till at 1. That's quite.
Yeah.
That's, 8 is 2.
Oh.
You okay?
There's a nice little pool to land in.
Yeah, no, fine. I just turned around to talk and went. I was just saying that we didn't actually touch the summit. I was just about to say, does anybody want to go and touch the summit?
Leave it.
Yeah, knock yourself out.
Where is the checkpoint and how close do you have
So the checkpoint, are we somewhere around here? They're not usually right on the summit.
Yeah.
They won't be hidden, but
They usually
they're
have
all
someone here, don't they?
digital now. You just walk past them.
Yeah. Just how close do you need to get to it?
Not very good. So guys, this is the tricky step on Tryfan. It's just a bit exposed. The best thing is to just get your arms. It's fine. But someone just get their arms. And what the key thing here is, you know, if you look over the edge here, it's quite a severe drop. And it goes straight into the gullies down here. So we just stay away from this edge.
Surely that's the quick way down.
Quicker. can just picture Max King and Simon Roberts bounding across these.
You'll get down there eventually. The rule of thumb is if you find yourself climbing, it's probably got a bit wrong.
Yeah.
So you never have to climb.
Yeah. Always descending.
You can always walk. Yeah, the reason why I'm not giving it away is because you literally can go anywhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter too much, and you might find yourself on a path, and then you might find yourself not on the path somehow, and then you keep going in that direction, you pick up another path. Just saying, there's like 1,000,001 ways to get down here. It doesn't really matter which way you take. You might pick up a path, then you might lose it, and then you might pick up another path. Someone just dropped something. Just like, the rule of thumb is if you don't have to climb, everything's walkable. So if you find yourself climbing, you've gone a bit wrong, you should probably come back up and try again, try another way. There's usually a path about 1 metre from where you climb, so you can't get too wrong. But I've stopped here because there's a good feature behind me. Can everyone see the hole in the rock? That's a good place to turn left at.
Oh, yeah, that's where I turned left.
There we go.
Oh,
so it's
right.
a good feature. I mean, I sometimes go that way.
I just never noticed the hole in the rock though.
So I sometimes go like that way, or sometimes I start that way then cut across. It doesn't matter. But for everyone here, that hole in the rock is probably a good feature.
What we all see, because I see the flattening there. not
Again?
the hole. I've always just seen the flattening there, not the hole in the rock.
What flattening?
Oh, the hole in the rock is
It's vertical.
You mean the gap? There's a gap. The rocks are leaning on each other, yeah.
That's what I'm taking.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to find an actual hole. Place to turn left. There's a hole in the rock. Turn left. Remember that. There is the hole.
I've never noticed that before.
You have no, haven't you?
Yeah.
We're going down to the vault eventually,
Yeah.
and then we go up the path on the right, and eventually we get underneath the steep cliffs, and we follow the path that runs up the steep cliffs, and then eventually once we get to the gap at the top there, we go across, and then can you see the scree going that way? We get on the right, we get on the left side of the scree then. There's definitely a line up through Bristly Screes. Right,
Bristly
anyway,
Scree.
I hide my hands.
yeah, well, when my legs get cold.
As long as my hands
I
are
know, I
warm.
can't believe it. It's funny, we're all different. We're all different. If my legs are cold, I'd be freezing.
I haven't put my gloves on once this winter yet.
We are all different. Try and
whole-
drop into that gully which has got the main carpet. So, you know. Whereas if you go where Yang is, if you keep going down, you'll end up at the lake.
So welcome to Sunday, folks. Now, yesterday, as you saw, weather was a little bit windy and cloudy. Now look at this. Forecast to stay like that till about 2 o'clock. Here comes Crib Goch in the sunshine. So this is the day for Crib Goch. So pleased the weather's outstanding. Looks like a lot of Easter Sunday people out, so we'll have a lot of company up there as well.
Is it green already? Yeah. It's wasted at the summit. Little respite levels that you do actually come across when you're actually working your way through it. So there are actually ledges where you can stop and rest, take a moment before you take the next little zigzag, but we can't really see them from here. They just appear at you just when you want them as you're moving through.
But there's definitely easy journeys, very tricky journeys through there.
Yeah, you could make life really
You could make life
taxing
quite
for yourself.
terrifying. But you can also see it's steeper on this side.
In that, just taking a moment here, if you did want to take a snap, because this.
Right, look, stand up.
Yeah, what sort of fuss about?
Come on, Crib Goch! Come on! Yeah, and there's one bit where he's in a library, it's in a proper library, the British Library.
Done a selfie out with it.
What's that?
Showed your wife that you're holding the camera yet.
Actually, I could do it here, couldn't I? Because this is quite safe. Yeah, I might not be able to get tucked back in here properly. I won't take the risk.
Goodness, there is more.
They'll be quite spread out, and you'll get little clumps with clusters.
Round the outside or just walk across the top of it? A bit terrible.
This way, when I've been walking along the top of it, there's a nice bit round to the left.
Basically, Luca, I've shot an excellent movie of you going across Crib Goch. There'll be one for your family up.
Yeah. You want to attach it to the back of my bag and then you
That'd
can film
be
you.
the way, wouldn't it? I suppose where they get their lift from, doesn't it?
Yeah, racing line where you and will go down to the pinnacles. And we're heading, can you see where that kind of stripy looking gashed rock? It looks like grooves.
No.
It's ahead of Yayan. It looks like cats. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Like Giant's Causeway, mini Giant's Causeway.
Yeah, that's where we're heading,
That's
yeah?
where we're heading.
Okay.
I mean, if you can remember anything, remember that.
Yeah.
Little route mark.
Well, I filmed these little bits, so I can watch it as my remembrance. Well, it is helpful. This is the one time I felt like they are
Like they're actually
quite advantageous.
moving
Yes.
through the terrain. See, look, you just stepped down that. Like, just like, oh, well, it's just down that then.
6'5". Thank the Lord it's come in handy for once.
Yeah, it does look pretty
Mower.
impressive from this side.
Yeah, but is it wider and easier to walk? So, an update. We are, if I can show you that, 3 hours, 4 hours and 8 minutes and a park run covered. That's the sort of pace we've been making. I love it.
Nobody cares about the elevation or the ridges involved. But
No. We just said that'd been the most awesome park run in the country though, wouldn't it? Easter Sunday, that's the queue for your photo at the summit, which I will not be queuing today for. So that there is the descent off Snowdon, which didn't look as aggressive as that when we were coming down it, but that is quite aggressive. And then we've got this ridge ahead of us, and then in the valley beyond, just behind this ridge, is where Camp 1 is at the end of day 1. And we've got a very, very, very steep grassy bump slide to get us down off that, which I'm very much looking forward to. Oh, that's the farm, isn't it, where the camp is? Yeah, yeah. You see that farm over there?
Okay.
That's where the campsite will be.